is? What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show, man. We are not stopping because the draft is coming, and I got you covered, man. Xavier Worthy, scouting report. He is one of my favorites out of this draft class. If you guys know my work, followed me for a long time, I've been preaching about Xavier Worthy since his freshman year because I think that's probably one of his more exciting tapes and where he did showcase a lot of this ability. Everyone's only talking about him being the speed demon that he is and thinking that is only going to be what he is in the pros. I totally disagree. He is, I'm giving you already foreshadow of how I feel about this guy, but I mean, every time I put on the tape, he is so electric, so elusive, and got so much ability. How can you not get excited about this man? So let's talk a little Xavier Worthy, pros, cons, and a grade score. Follow me. Let's go. So I'm telling you, I will not be an apologist even if somebody like Worthy does bust in the NFL, because there is nobody that is not willing to take a shot on the talent that he does possess. You cannot teach world-class wheels like this man has, and I'm telling you, he is more well-rounded than most do believe. They want to pigeonhole this man to being just a one-trick pony, and because of his size and frame, you're thinking that he can't get there in the NFL. It's bull duty. I'm telling y'all, he's that damn good. Hit that like button for me, by the way. I'm just trying to make it work, and it is good stuff. Let's talk Xavier Worthy. Measurables, he is 5'11", 165. I understand that is the concern. 20 years of age, still youthful in talent, and a lot of room to grow, even though he played 39 contests, almost 200 receptions at 197, 27.55 in yards, 14 on the average, and 26 receiving touchdowns. I'm telling y'all, it is more than just a one-trick pony. I am so excited for somebody like an Xavier Worthy. I have been in his court for a very long time. That's why I'm screaming, man. I'm excited, as you guys should be as well. Let's talk these pros because he's got a heaping of them. Like I said, world-class wheels. Showcase that at the NFL Combine, and he ran on his second attempt, the better the record, 4.2140. He broke the record at the Combine on his second go, so that just tells you how much he does have. Athletic abilities off the chain, and I do love everything about him. While it is the situation, okay, how many players at the NFL Combine have blown up the 40 time in this sense and then have succeeded in the NFL? I'll give you one. CJ2K, man, okay? So it's not always to say a guy like John Ross. For every John Ross, you're going to have a CJ2K, and even though it is Xavier Worthy being the wide receiver over the running back, there is so much good talent to be had here. Why would you pass up a guy like an Xavier Worthy? He is my fourth-ranked wide receiver, and a lot of y'all say I'm crazy. I am not, man. He is better than most believe in a lot of aspects, and I'm telling y'all, burst is just ridiculous. Shot out of a cannon. Majority of his pros are going to come to the point of saying speed, speed, and speed, man. It is the electric ability that he does possess, but I mean, the burst is ridiculous. Home run, world-class ability, breakaway wheels. He will get you touchdowns when you get the ball in his hands, man. Goes similarly to a wide receiver we discussed who was undersized coming into the draft process, like a Jalen Waddle. While I don't think their games, are, mirrors of each other, I think the outlook on how individuals viewed somebody like a Jalen Waddle, saying he was too small to make it in the NFL, he could never be a true number one wide receiver. I think we all see what Jalen Waddle is capable of in the pros. Xavier Worthy has all of this written down in his bio to be the next coming of somebody like a Jalen Waddle, like is a smaller body frame, but can produce on a big scale. He's 5'11", y'all. It's not like he's like 5'7", so there is potential here for him to be very talented in the league, man. Good shuffle, stutter step off the line. Very clean and quick, man. When we're talking about the footwork, it's good. Is it Lad McConkey quick? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is very good off the line. While he does see a lot of free releases, it is part of the situation that you got to respect the speed. It's just so good in that respect, but it is good when he is the defensive. I'm stuttering for a second because I was thinking about some, but I mean, when he is getting a little bit pressed up on the line, when somebody is, trying to be, brave enough to say you're not going to get around me, maybe they got a safety deep. The shuffle step and stutter step off the line is good. It's clean, it's quick. His feet do move in that respect, man. Route tree is very sound. A lot of people say he's not a route technician. I disagree with y'all 110%. Is it refined to the elite levels that we're going to say like someone, a Marvin Harrison, a Roma Dunzier? No, I won't go that far. But the route tree is very sound for where he is today, especially for a guy that we can say you can utilize just for running nines down the field. He's much more than that and should be treated as such. Very, versatile. Screens, slants, deep plays, jet sweeps, outside, slot, curls, everything he can do, and he can do it very well. Again, everybody can improve on all aspects in their game, especially when we're talking about technical sound abilities. I do like his route tree. I think it is very good for where he is today, especially with the wheels that he does possess. This will be a problem in the NFL, I'm telling y'all. Like a Jalen Waddle, who was refined in that route tree as well. Look what Jalen does over the middle of the field. We can see if a team utilizes it. Man, Miami was already trying to get him on the team. You know they are. They want that speed demon as well, so it could just be a track team on their field. But I'm telling y'all, he is very good in a lot of these aspects when it comes to the route tree. Not a negative whatsoever. Ball tracking is good. Over-the-shoulder adjustments, I think, are absolutely exceptional. We've seen him, the ball is in the air. He's looking to the left. He actually contorts his head to go right behind his back and then shifts to the right. That is hard to do when you're running full bore down the field. So for me, the tracking is extremely good for what you're asking him to do down the field. Very sound in that respect. Very good body control and then contorting his body. We've seen it on the sidelines. We've seen it on the comeback routes. We've seen it in the end zone when he is doing the drags in and out. I mean, we've seen how he can contort his body, even back shoulder fades. It is there in his game. Will they want to rely on that majority of the time? Probably not, but at least I've seen it enough to suggest that this is a pro in his game. Hands are good, but I'll put a caveat on that in the cons as well. There is an issue with the hands that I do see. But when he does make the play, he follows the ball in, snags it out of the air. So when you do see him catch the ball clean, you're like, yeah, man, he can do it, and it looks good. But I'm going to put a caveat on that. So put an asterisk next to that one because we'll touch that in the cons as well. Hands are good enough for me. Are they great? We'll touch that in the cons, man. Sound elusive ability, shake and juke is definitely there. Is he somebody like a Tank Dell? I'm going to say no, but I do believe there's enough for him to get around defenders, especially when you watch him on screen plays. There is a lot of, decisive plant steps where he's able to get around and then just hit the afterburners and just burn past people. So there is good shake and juke ability in this man. He slips tackles in the yak, man. I'm telling you, it's not even the fact of just the juke and shake. He's got some power to him. At 165, people are thinking he's just this guy that's going to get, you blow on him and he's going to fall down. Not the case whatsoever. He does got some good drop shoulder. The stiff arm is decent enough, and then it promotes him to go around and then make plays down the field. So definitely does have adequate strength, I want to say. And why I put it here as a pro is because he's lean, man. 165 for a guy that can do this with a good drop shoulder and initiate contact and absorb contact well. Absolutely, it's a freaking pro for me, man. Get on board. He's got punt return upside as well and could be utilized as such as a rookie just to get him experienced in the pros to understand the pro level game. And I do think that it is a positive to put him on the punt returns because he is that explosive and electric. And like I mentioned early on, his freshman tape was probably one of my favorites simply because he was new, fresh on the scene, and he was making plays. Had his best touchdown career season in his freshman year as well. So definitely take notice of that. If you want to watch his film, go watch his freshman tape. You will understand what I'm saying. But for some cons, it's the big one, and we know it is, man. He needs to add more muscle mass and pounds, man. 165, soaking wet is not good, no bueno. We want to see at least that get up to the 180 for me. I think 20 pounds not out of the question. Especially with an NFL meal plan, NFL weight room, you could definitely up that. No question about it. I mean, will we see him get up to 180? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he hovers around like the 175-ish range, and then he's able to continue to play with that electric speed and dynamic ability. He has some bad drops, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody. I've seen it. It's not good, and the concentration drops are absolutely there. He takes his eye off the football, and this is, indicative of so many talented wide receivers who do have speed and can turn up field. They try to turn up before they look the ball in their hands. This is a big problem for him. Running the route and then losing sight of the quarterback and the ball, a big problem for him. He definitely needs to figure this one out. Is it a drastic problem that could go into the NFL? It could, and this is one of the things while a lot of people will say he's a bust because all he can do is run fast because he drops passes. This is a big one. He did improve this past year. Let's not, sell him short on everything, but this is a concern for me. Hands are good when he makes the plays, but there are some bad concentration drops he definitely needs to figure out. Man, he's not a natural hand catcher, I want to say, but you do see it at times. So it's maybe more consistency in the hands, man. The ball does slap off the hands from time to time. Not always clean. Double catching. You see it, hit his palms from time to time, and he pulls it in through his body. Do not like that. Body catching, arm catching. So when he's going deep down the field, instead of using his hands, he's using his entire arms to corral the ball in. This is dreadful when it comes to how defenders will play you. They can slap that ball out, and it will be a drop on your end as well. So these things are definitely something that he needs to clean up, be more technically sound, get on the jugs machine, do 1,000,000 reps, fix the hand problems, and I think that, it's not a grave concern, but it is one of these situations why I said you put on the caveat that it could be a big concern and why he doesn't, excel in the NFL and produce like we want him to, because he is that good overall. He's just got to clean up some of these and round out some of these aspects of his game for sure. Press could be an issue based of his size, okay? But he gets a lot of free releases. So this is one of the situations it's a question mark for me. Is the footwork good enough to beat the press rather than being stunned right off the line with a chest jab? I think he's got enough to do it, okay? In the NFL, they're going to have to respect the speed. Whether or not he's going to play outside or play in the slot and be that supreme mismatch, especially in the slot, he's going to be killer, man. I think he's going to continue to get these free releases because you have to respect the speed. You cannot go any which way about it. That's why guys like Jalen Waddle and how they play the game would be a great, it's not a comp based on skill set, but based on usage, I think would be very good. Utilize him the way you utilize a Jalen Waddle, and you will see success for days coming out of an Xavier Worthy, no question. He can miss time the deep balls. I mean, it's tracking. But this is the thing, man. Those are very low percentage shots, and you're going to see these guys drop the passes. Even the best in the business will make some mistiming plays. Have seen it from time to time. Is it a grave concern as well? No, it is definitely noticeable on film as well. Want to see a lot of these things cleaned up. So, I mean, with the hands, the timing, you're never going to have it 100% on the field for a guy who's a massive home run hitter, playmaker. But you gotta work some of this stuff out. 50-50 balls are truly that, 50-50. He's not going to be the jump ball guy, the artist you want. On the slants in the back of the end zone, sure, he can go and get up and get them. But, I mean, when you're talking, put the ball in the air, let me come down with it, you're probably not doing that. Nothing like a Devonta Smith who's got the extremely long arms, which aids in those 50-50 jump balls. Worthy is not necessarily that guy, and I truly believe you won't utilize him that way as well. He can get bounced off his route in the open field as well. Little chips on the hip, and he is stuttered a little bit. So that is a big one. He will lose separation, and the defensive backs will sit on his hip when they do that. So I do believe that the NFL will understand, and they've done it to many fast, speedy wide receivers, even guys like Tyreek. You try to get him on the hip, disrupt the timing, even though Tyreek's a elite baller in sense. I mean, it's just you try to disrupt the timing any which way you can, and can Worthy, compensate for that and keep going? We will see. That is probably one of the bigger question marks. I do got on a Worthy as well, but for grading purposes, he is so good. One of my favorite talents out of this class. I'm going to drop the flag and say, even if he does become a bust, I'm so okay with grading him where I have because the talent is off the chain. 79.6% for an Xavier Worthy. He's so good. He belongs in this category with the top dogs, potentially being one of these explosive playmaking wide receiver, one type of wide receivers you can have and trust. Is he just a secondary piece that goes on nines? No, I believe his game is far better than that. So the team that does grab him, I hope they do not ruin him, but I'm planting my flag. I'm definitely willing to take a shot even in the first round for an Xavier Worthy if I am an NFL team, because he is that good and he should be exploited as such. So yeah, that is Xavier Worthy, one of my favorite wide receivers in this class, and it's not just because of the speed, y'all. I know a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon after the 4.21. I was on it way before, so hop on with me because he is quality and should showcase that in the pros. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are y'all thinking of Worthy? You think he's a bust? You think he's going to be fantastic in the pros? Throw it in the comments and give me an explanation, and we could definitely talk it out, but we'll see you next time. I am out.